I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost.
Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Louis, you really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better, if you don't want your foes to use them against you.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
Filthy swine! I'm going to open this damn door and skin you alive! You're not going to get the better of us!
Mother?
Louis, you've come around. How do you feel?
It hurts. Mother? I can't feel my arm.
Louis, I had to cauterize it with what I could find.
Where's my arm?
We'll get through this, Louis. Don't worry. I think I found a solution. You'll see.
We gotta leave. No, don't put your arm in there.
Louis, we can't leave without it. It's our last chance. I need to see this through to the end. I must do it. We've done it, Louis. Look.
Stubborn as a mule.
Come on, up you get. I'll help you. Easy does it. You've lost a lot of blood.
And now what?
Let's take what we came for.
Wait. I've got to know what I did wrong.
That is one fearsome mechanism. In fact, if I hadn't watched you beforehand, I would never have found the right combination.
Tell me, where did I go wrong? Damn. I was sure I'd figured out how the lock worked.
Of course, Louis. But you still had to choose the right theme from the start. It was the crucifixion. I matched its symbol, the crown of thorns, to the place where Christ was nailed to the cross, Golgotha. Then I had to link the crown of thorns to the date of the crucifixion, according to the exegesis. But I failed to understand the first time. With that theme in mind, I chose 26M, which represents the 26th of March. To conclude, I had to use the armillary sphere to find the moon corresponding to the day of the crucifixion, which turned out to be in the first quarter. All that was left to do was to link all those elements on the same axis. But where are we?
I don't know, but we better not hang around. Do you know what we're looking for?
We have to find that weapon. What do you know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
The what?
The Lance of Longinus the Centurion.
Now that you mention it, I did catch von Bollner in the middle of an altercation with Piaggi.
What?
Von Bollner blamed His Eminence for having supplied Mortimer with all the lances in the Vatican's possession.
If Mortimer has all of them in his possession, it's not going to help us.
Seriously? You don't really believe that fable, do you?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Very well. Now what?
Well, now you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our departure. Let's get off this cursed island as quickly as we can. We shall come back when we are ready and armed.
But hang on.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not. You take care of getting the lance. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
Hang on. At least tell me everything you know about this lance.
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
Hang on a second.
What's the matter?
Why did you shoot Emily's sister?
Do you really think now is the right time for this?
I want to know, Mother. Why did you betray her?
Listen, Louis. I don't think you've really understood my interest in the Al-Azif. It's not just simple curiosity about some old relic.
You tried to kill her.
And I had no choice, for crying out loud. It must not fall into the hands of the demons, or we are all doomed. Don't you see? Listen, I don't know exactly what it contains, but I prefer to be one step ahead. If they want it, there must be a reason. And even if I don't know what it is, I want to stop them for safety's sake, no matter what.
Nothing will stop you if I understand correctly.
Enough, Louis. If you could see the extent of their power as I do, then you would understand what I'm saying.
All right, we'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it. Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it. Then run and meet me on the wharf.
And if I get caught?
If they catch you in possession of the lance, we're all doomed. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.
Flavius Aetius. It was cut a long time ago. You can tell by the rough hacks of the tool and the patina of the stone. This sarcophagus is very ancient. I'd say it's several centuries old. This sarcophagus has been ravaged by time. It's sort of ageless, I guess. It's entirely sculpted. These symbols, these grooves, cuneiform script. This is humanity's oldest alphabet, the language of Babel. Sadly, no one today even knows how to decipher it. There's also some text engraved beneath in ancient Greek. Sargon. Is this the tomb of a king? Judging by all the sculpted symbols of power, this is really ancient. The inscriptions are all eroded. I don't know what those marks mean, but maybe a stone or epitaph. we can see that this lance has a particular spear shape. It is coated in gold. You can distinguish the symbol of the fish engraved on the tip, barely noticeable. There's several spearheads. I need to find clues to pick the right one. Piaggi knows something about it for sure. This lance has got a blade in the shape of a spear. Its blade is in iron or steel, I think. I can make out a rising sun engraved on the tip. There's several spearheads. I need to find clues to pick the right one. Piaggi knows something about it for sure. This sarcophagus is engraved with the name of Clemens III. Good God! The one whose cross allowed me to enter. Clemens III. Clément III in French. How come his tomb ended up here and not in the Vatican? That was the Pope from the Middle Ages who inspired the Third Crusade. He gave the Roman people the power to elect their magistrates. This sarcophagus is beautifully made, but ancient. The stone is marked by the passage of time, but it's really well preserved. I can see that this spear has a so-called leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. I can see the tip is engraved with the symbol of the Eye of Ra. There's several spearheads. I need to find clues to pick the right one. Piaggi knows something about it for sure. This one has no name. I wonder who it was for. This one has no name. I wonder who it was for. The Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ. The 4 Gospels each give an account of the death of Christ. Let's see what they can tell me about the lance. There's nothing about the lance in this account of the crucifixion. This apostle does not mention the lance in his description of the death of Christ. There's no mention of the lance in what Luke says about the death of Christ. Ah, there. When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs, but one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water. And he that saw it bore witness, and his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe. A shimmering lance? What is this telling me?
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
Hard to kill time on this island. Nothing ever happens. Gets a bit boring, don't you think?
Are you joking, my friend? I'm sure you're just being ironic.
Yes and no. It's true that the manor is full of books and works of art. Unfortunately, the subjects are restricted to Lord Mortimer's specific tastes. The Crusades, religion...
Yes, that's true.
By the way, have you noticed the representations of the Holy Lance he's got all over the place?
No. It was the last thing in my mind, to be honest.
Oh, well that's a pity. I would have enjoyed chatting about it, as I would have done with my mother.
See you later.
Your Eminence, would you have a moment to spare?
Not now, Louis. Please, leave me alone.
I beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the Lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
You are not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I heard you speak to Mr. von Wollner about it, and I was wondering if you could tell me something about it.
That was a private conversation. How could I have known that he was listening to us?
I see what you mean.
Louis, don't push it. Leave while you still can.
Your Eminence, are you all right? Your Eminence, are you with me? Can you turn around, please?
What do you want to know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
Your Eminence, turn around.
This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
Look at me.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
His nose is bleeding.
So you are looking for the Holy Lance of Longinus, are you?
Exactly.
Frank and direct. I like that. Thank you for not trying to be sly. You are looking for the lance. You should know, you are not the only one. Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life and his fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it. But tell me, before going any further, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
No, Your Eminence. I thought you'd be the only one able to help me with it.
Your words lack conviction, Louis. If I'm asking you all these things, it's for your own good, you know. You have no reason to lie to me. Imagine you find it, which I don't doubt, given how resolute you are when you've got something on your mind. Then what? What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
If I told you why I needed this lance, you would never believe it.
Trust me, you can tell me anything.
It's our only chance to vanquish the demons.
Oh, my dear God, Louis. You sound just like Sarah. Do you realize you are following the same path, step by step? Sarah also started by imagining things. She, too, spoke of demons, I am told. She could no longer speak to anyone, and saw a hidden monster in every guest, lurking in the shadows, ready to devour her. You must let us help you. Louis, I thank you for your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did indeed pierce the side of the Messiah. His blood gushed out, covering the head of the lance. It was covered in the blood of Christ.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons that she is frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind. Take good care of yourself. God keep you.
Blind Oedipus. Blinded himself. What great honey. Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms. Christ Crucified by Velasquez. Look, someone's left a note there. Reserved for the Duke of Alcudia. The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci.
The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples. Celia. That name means nothing to me. Liberty or Death by Regnault. Well, I'll take liberty, please. But I do understand his choice, even though it seems radical. Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it. Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Pardon me, monsieur, but I have work to do.
St. Longinus. Let's take a closer look at his lance. It is shaped like a leaf, like the real lance, maybe. How can I be sure? No, this is too easy. Mortimer's trying to throw me off the track again. It seems too visible to be true. Impossible not to see the statue on first glance, given its size. And Mortimer has no interest in making the shape of the true lance so easy to see.
I think this statue does represent Longinus, armed with a lance that wounded Jesus, the Holy Lance. How can I find out if this is an exact representation? There's no way of being certain of it. Which four-letter word could open this chest? Dante's paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays. Monsieur Johann van Volnau. It seems like he isn't here. The signs of obscurantism. Look, a blotter. And apparently it's been used recently. I wonder what Volner was going to write. It's smudged. It's not all legible. I can make out the signature, though, and leave as if planned It's illegible. Let's see if I can find a solution in Volner's things here. Given his interest in alchemy, I wouldn't be surprised if I found something that revealed what's written somewhere in his room. What a mess. Looks like Volner was interrupted. Looks a lot like straw, and he's drawn something in a hurry on this sheet. I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before. Looks a lot like straw, and he's drawn something in a hurry on this sheet. A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart. the alchemist as a young man. A chemistry set. That's not surprising coming from von Wollner. I should find something to help reveal the traces of ink on the blotter. I think I read somewhere that lime water was used on ancient manuscripts. Let's try it. Damn! It's diluted the ink. Now it's illegible. Right. It's not my lucky day. So, let's see what Wollner has in his bookcase. Not surprising. Most of these works are in German, and one in Latin. Longini Militis Fabulum. Ah, what have we here? It looks like a kind of biography on Longinus the Centurion. Truly, Wollner has done everything he can to get information about that lance. I'd better keep this one, though.
Richet?
Damn, that's all I need. Maybe he knows something about the lance.
What happened? You've lost. Oh, how horrible. Your hand.
It's an accident. To tell you the truth,
An accident? Are you joking? You have lost your hand, Louis. We've got to do something.
It's been done. I've been given treatment, rest assured. I admit that I didn't truly realize the consequences of my recklessness. So just stay calm.
Yes, of course. But, Louis, it's your hand.
I know. Please, look, there's nothing I can do about it. I know, I made a mistake, but it's too late now. It was an accident. I only wanted to inspect the place to find my mother and, well, I fell into a trap. The result is appalling, I grant you that, but at least I can guarantee that we're all perfectly safe here on this island.
And you joke about it? Am I dreaming?
No, sir, but let's be realistic. So many world leaders brought together in one place, and there are no safeguards? The error indeed stems from my recklessness. I went looking here and there and searched my mother, and I had an accident. It's my own fault.
Fine. We will drop this incident. Why are you here? What are you doing in my room?
Von Wollner, let's not have a misunderstanding. I had nothing else to read in my bookcase, and I wondered if I...
Stop your blathering, de Richet. You're the one looking for the lance.
No,
Don't take me for a fool. You are looking for the holy lances.
Not at all. I've come here to talk to you about the Al-Azif.
Ach, you are lying through your teeth. You are not here for the Al-Azif.
No, of course not. Well, what makes you think that?
You are a very bad liar, my lad. Don't think you're going to get away with it so easily. Drop it. I can see very well you're trying to take me for a ride. You have no idea of what you're getting yourself into, de Richet. Don't think you're going to get off lightly. Never will I help you find the golden lance of Longinus. Never! Don't make me your competition, de Richet. You are no match. Now, get out of here.
I managed to get the biography of Longinus the Centurion. Let's see what it can teach me. An interesting passage here tells me that the lance is engraved with the symbol of the first Christians, the fish.
Flavius Aetius. This sarcophagus has been ravaged by time. It's sort of ageless, I guess. It's entirely sculpted. These symbols, these grooves, cuneiform script. This is humanity's oldest alphabet, the language of Babel. Sadly, no one today even knows how to decipher it. There's also some text engraved beneath in ancient Greek, Sargon. We can see that this lance has a particular spear shape. It is coated in gold. You can distinguish the symbol of the fish engraved on the tip, barely noticeable. I must be sure of my choice. I don't want to get this wrong. Now, am I really sure this is the one to take? I'm already pressed for time as it is. Mother's waiting for me on the wharf.
De Richet, sticking your nose everywhere again.
Wow, what's the matter with him? Excuse me, monsieur, I don't follow you.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
Why? What are you talking about?
I am talking about what you are doing. This conference is going to boost my career. There is no question of me letting you ruin everything. I just surprised Piaget and Volner talking. You are about to rob Mortimer. Give me what you took from him, immediately.
Let's keep calm, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to cut this short, quick. Look, I don't know what you're going on about, and I don't have time for this right now.
Don't bank on getting rid of me so easily, De Richet. Where have you been?
I'm still looking for my mother, if you can believe it. I've been in the manor basement to check if she might have gone lost.
And did you find her?
No, not a trace.
I'm warning you, de Richet. I've got my eye on you. I'll soon figure out what you are up to. And I am convinced that you have indeed robbed Mortimer. The game is up. Give me what you took from him.
You know, this is becoming an obsession with you.
Show me what you are carrying, or I will call the servants.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Very well. You leave me no choice but to alert Lord Mortimer.
Blast it! I'll never manage to leave this island if he keeps this up. Wait!
You leave me no choice. Come with me. Mais qu'est-ce... What is this?
Am I disturbing you?
Monsieur de Richet, it seems you are everywhere.
At least he hasn't noticed my arm.
Was Mr. von Wollner able to help you?
Help me?
Yes. For your armillary sphere.
Oh, yes, that.
Louis, everything all right?
Yes. Excuse me, I was miles away.
Oh, while you're here, you wouldn't know who the last guest is, would you?
What do you mean?
I heard Sir Gregory speaking about it. A certain Al-Asif something or other.
Who? What?
Obviously not. It's not important, forget it.
No, hang on.
It doesn't matter, I'm telling you. We'll find out soon enough. I'm in a hurry right now. I'm waiting for someone. See you later, Louis.
Shit. I haven't time either. See you later.
Ah, Louis. Perfect timing.
As luck would have it.
Come, my boy. I would like to have a word with you. Come closer, please. It's time we had a little chat. I wanted you... Oh, no, your hand. Damn it, no. So that's it. She's prepared to use you.
What do you mean?
It wasn't enough for her to lose her hand. She had to make you lose yours, too. I cannot permit this to continue. Louis, it's time you found out the truth. I've been observing you since you arrived. I see you running all over the grounds in the search of Sarah. I would like to prevent her from leading you even further down the wrong road.
The wrong road?
Louis, Sarah has made her own choices of her own free will, and I would like for you to have the same chance. You see, Sarah and I have known each other for a very long time, Louis. I am aware of her theory. About me, about Gregory, about the demons. She's right. Look at me. I have inhabited this body since 1191. For the last 602 years, I have been this dear William Mortimer.
Continue.
Louis, it's time you opened your eyes. Come, you'll soon see.
After you. So, Von Borchert, he was looking for the Al-Azif for you.
Exactly. Al-Azif has always belonged to my family, Louis. And with good reason. My father wrote much of it. Can you tell me what you've done with...
What? You mean the Al-Azif?
No, I already know that. Sarah came here with it and got rid of it. I was thinking of Von Borchert. He isn't essential, but he is a trusted person.
About him, how can I put this?
I see.
Well, he jumped me. It was him or me.
You don't need to justify yourself, Louis. Don't worry.
If you could manipulate us mentally, what's the point of all the theatrics of the conference?
You must suspect that we asked ourselves that very same question. For many centuries, we didn't organize any conferences, and most of the time, it ended in civil war between demons. Many of us were killed during this period. The idea of organizing conferences was the answer to everything. The interest being to erect some rules among ourselves. Our family first divided up all the principal countries of the world. Now, whenever one of us wanted to propose a major change between these countries, they summon the demon in question and initiate a conference. The demon that initiates the proposition doesn't have to give notification of the subject of the conference beforehand. Consequently, we participate along with our best assets. Once the humans are brought together, the conference begins, but we are forbidden to use our talents to influence the participants. The first meeting is held in order to expose the subject to all the participants, followed by several days of reflection, during which we are allowed to be persuasive but not to impose our will. A second meeting closes the conference with a final vote.
So, for you it's a game, isn't it?
I understand your remark, but after living several centuries, you stand back and enjoy what reflection and pleasure you can.
But how do you agree on global policy?
Locally, we often have competing interests, and sometimes we start wars between men which are linked to our disagreements. Most of the time, our father steps in and gives directives, which my family follow to the letter. Indeed, in my opinion, it is high time we moved on.
What do you mean?
I mean that a new era must begin. The old monarchic regimes are outdated, and it's time to evolve.
Did what happened to Elizabeth Adams have anything to do with you?
Unfortunately, the poor girl became an issue between us, in spite of herself. A family of demons is still a family, and as in all families, there are disputes. Elizabeth's family, the Adams, has always been under the patriarchal control of my father. As he and myself are not really on very good terms, sending poor Elizabeth here was terribly rude of him, really.
You did accept, though.
No, I would say rather I was presented with a fait accompli by Gregory and went along with the intention of helping her. But this is my castle, and everyone is the master of their own home.
It was you who killed her.
The child was already condemned, Louis. My father would never have let her be. I had to pass inside her mind and, yes, make her take her own life. Trapped between the unyielding control of my father and your mother's terrible treatments, I wouldn't wish a life like that on anyone. would you?
So neither my mother nor Peru were ever guilty. You just gave me the runaround with that whole investigation.
Now don't take it the wrong way. I was obliged to keep up appearances so that Gregory wouldn't suspect me. And it enabled me to size you up, Louis. I hope I've answered all your questions, Louis. Come, I've something to show you.
There is one question that remains to be answered. Why me? Why tell me all of this?
Oh, haven't you guessed yet?
I mean, it's obvious you want me on your side, but that doesn't explain why you're telling me all these truths.
Louis, this conference is indeed of capital importance to me. And yes, I want you on my side. But that's not the main reason that compels me to confide in you.
What is it then?
Look, we are of the gods, Louis. Always have been. You, as much as me, you are one of us, Louis. You too are a demon.
Are you serious?
You know it. Deep down inside, you know I am telling you the truth. Where do you think that natural, charismatic presence comes from? Your talent must already have manifested itself somehow. Have you ever had any visions?
No. Stop it. It's absurd.
Have you never found yourself suddenly inside someone else's body without knowing why?
No.
Whilst asleep, maybe? That's how it often happens the first time. Your spirit wanders unconsciously.
My mother can't have lied to me about that.
It's true. Your real mother would never have lied to you.
What do you mean?
Louis, I would rather you found this out from her own lips, but it's important that you know. Sarah is not your mother.
What?
I'm sorry you had to find out this way, Louis. But you must know the truth before you commit an irreparable act.
No, no, it's not possible.
You are my son. Not too shaken up. You've experienced many significant events since your arrival.
You can say that again.
For now, I think you ought to find Sarah, my son. You ought to talk things over with her.
So she's been lying to me all along?
Let her justify herself. What's done is done. Sarah must explain herself. You must clear the air. We'll have all the time we need to talk afterwards. But all in good time. Before you join her, I'd like to give you something. As a demon, I would like to introduce you to your first talent.
What do you mean?
Open your mind, my son. Relax. You hold immense power. It's already there inside you. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Just let me show you the way.
I should relax.
Open your mind. Hear my voice. Feel the vibrations and listen to what has been happening to you deep inside, but which you have been concealing. Trust yourself. It's all already in there.
I can hear something.
Now breathe.
It's a sound, very faint.
That's right. Concentrate on it. My voice is growing fainter, but I am here.
Whispers, words, mixed voices.
Focus on one of them. Don't be afraid.
I sense a stream. Some words are clear, but not all of them.
Let them enter into your mind.
I hear them. Now I can hear a clear voice.
Well done, Louis. Congratulations.
What was it?
You are now able to read people's minds.
What?
You heard me. From now on, whenever a human speaks to you, you will be able to read their current thoughts. So, if you need to know something in particular from someone, all you have to do is make them think about it.
But it'd be a violation of their most intimate thoughts, wouldn't it?
To begin with, there's nothing obliging you to do it. You already had the ability without even knowing it. I just gave you the option of putting it into practice if you want. Moreover, it would be wrong to evoke morality here. Every species is different, Louis, and this is the way we are made. That's all there is to it. You are free to use this talent or not. And what's more, it will be up to you to decide what to do with the thoughts you read. That is where the values of right and wrong do come into play. There are also a few rules you need to know that govern this talent when used between ourselves. You can read the thoughts of demons as well as of humans. But be careful. A demon more experienced than yourself will know that you are spying, and will often react quite violently. It's considered bad form to play around the psyche of another demon. It's a question of courtesy. But let's be clear. What is most considered bad form is getting caught. So I would advise against trying to read the thoughts of Gregory, for example.
Home?
Yes, the old grump is touchy, and rather a stickler about the conventions. On that note, go and see Sarah, Louis. Otherwise, she might leave without you. We'll continue this discussion later, if you want. Just join me in my study when you've finished.
You're right. I need to go now. See you later, Father.
One more thing. If you want to know the truth about your birth, ask her about Paris, 1763, at 12 Rue des Martyrs. That's where she disemboweled your mother to steal you from me.
It's not that I regret all these discussions, but I must hurry to the wharf.
You manipulated us all. You're going to pay.
What is at stake here far outweighs our personal interests.
Our personal interests? You betrayed me.
Emily, no! But, wait! How has Sarah betrayed you?
I don't believe it. You still don't get it. I'm not Emily, stupid.
You went as far as killing your own sister?
You're the one who pointed her out. You only have yourself to blame.
Oh, dear God!
Surprise, Sarah. You can't just get rid of me like that, you old hag.
Do you realize what you did?
Oh, poor Louis. He's upset about me getting rid of his little sweetheart.
Emma, you tricked your sister.
She looked for you everywhere.
You're lying. She wasted her time hovering around you.
No, you're wrong, Emma. She was ready to kill me if it would have brought you back.
She was supposed to lay into you. She was supposed to get even for me.
Emily was right. She wouldn't have made me pay for someone else's mistakes.
Duchess, I am sorry about what happened.
You had a choice. You use people according to your desires without any scruples.
Excuse me, but we are in the same line of business.
Shut it!
And Emily knew it very well.
No, Emma, look at me.
She would never endanger herself for the sake of the Order. Her sense of duty gave way to her personal interest. In the end, Sir Gregory was the only one who was truly honest with me. He has opened my eyes more in 2 days than my sister did in a whole lifetime.
Sir Gregory? You've got to be joking, right? You're not really going to trust him, are you?
I trust Gregory. He's always honest with me.
Emma, you don't realize. You're just a pawn to Sir Gregory, like the rest of us.
He has never lied to me. He took me in, took care of me. Something that no one else has ever done for me.
Why did he do it? You didn't have any particular item which he desperately wanted you to give him, for example?
No,
Emma, you are the only one who knows where the Al-Azif is hidden. He's using you.
It's all Mortimer's fault.
Mortimer is responsible for his share of all of this, but he's not playing alone. Holm is serving his own interests too.
There's been enough deaths.
No, it isn't fair. I haven't done all this for nothing. Holm promised me I could be the only Duchess Hillsborough from now on.
Lower your weapon, Emma.
No, I've gone too far to stop here. You are trying to manipulate me again, I can tell.
No, why do you say that?
That poor Emma is stupid. She would swallow any story you wanted, wouldn't she? No one will ever manipulate me again.
Unless you decide to kill everyone on this island, you'll have to explain your actions once you get back. All this effort to become the only Duchess Hillsborough ruined it in an instant.
She betrayed me.
You will be tracked down, hunted like a criminal. In the end, there will have only been one Duchess Hillsborough.
I am Duchess Hillsborough. You will not die by my hand today, Sarah. She deserves to die. In fact, I think that honor goes to you.
Where is the Al-Azif?
Sir Gregory planned to get it off the island by boat. I wouldn't be surprised if he sends it with the next shipment for the continent, but I don't know when that is.
I really thought my next breath would be my last.
Well, anything's possible.
This is no time to be joking. Just help me climb aboard this boat, and let's get off of this cursed island.
No. I'm not going anywhere, and neither are you, until you've told me everything.
For crying out loud, what are you talking about?
Paris, 1763, number 12 on Rue des Martyrs.
No. I beg you, please trust me. He's manipulating you. We must leave.
Paris.
Can't you see he wants you? And he'll do anything to turn you against me.
Number 12 on Rue des Martyrs.
He had to pay for what he did to me. I panicked. There she was with the baby due. I thought it was the right time to touch it, but
touch it? By disemboweling her and stealing me from her?
The girl was already condemned to die. He never leaves any witnesses behind. She meant nothing to him. And I absolutely had to find a way of stopping him.
You snatched a newborn baby from its mother's womb with the sole goal of seeking revenge.
From the second I took you in, I couldn't bear to be apart from you. I looked after you, fed you, raised you, like a mother.
I know. You always took care of me.
I devoted my whole life to teaching you to distinguish between right and wrong, so you would have the choice. You are not like him.
But you never told me.
I wanted to. I very nearly told you everything, at least a dozen times.
You didn't, though, did you? Why?
I don't know, Louis.
You lacked the courage.
Yes, Louis. Yes, I was wrong. I should have told you earlier. I know. Forgive me, I beg you. Louis, yes. I made mistakes in the past, but now I'm ready to...
Do you consider me a mistake?
No, not you. You are what I am most proud of in my whole life. You are good. You fight to do right. You are not like him.
Still, he is my father. Why did you steal me?
You don't want to know, believe me.
For once in your life, be honest. Why all this mess? Why do you have it in for him so much? Why?
Because I'm his daughter. I know what he's doing. I see he has his eye on you. He's hovering around you, tempting you. He did it to me before you. And if you don't live up to his expectations, he will cast you away.
Is that what happened to you?
I wasn't good enough for him. So he rejected me.
What do you mean?
He tried to initiate me, but it would seem I am unable to develop his talent. I can't withdraw my mind from my body.
I get it. The reason why you abducted me is because he didn't love you, isn't it?
He doesn't love anyone, Louis. Don't be taken in.
Little mixed up, but I do understand your choice. You were wrong not to speak to me about it before, but I understand that you didn't want to leave me with him.
Oh, thank you, Louis. I promise never to lie to you again, my son. Come, let's go home.
I can't.
What do you mean? Why not?
I've got to know. Trust me. We'll meet in Paris.
He wants you, Louis. He will never let you go.
Don't worry. Here, this is yours.
Don't forget, Louis. You've got the lance. You can beat him. If you hit him with it, he won't be able to escape from his mortal envelope, and he will die with it.
rational and open. I spent my whole life swimming in lies. Emily, what a waste. I feel like I know nothing. That I have to learn everything all over again. I'm a demon. I age more slowly. I can mentally manipulate people. I don't even know if it's a good thing or a curse. Frankly, I feel like I'm cursed. I hope I'll be able to control this new skill, otherwise my life will be hell. Damn it, what a mess. Come on, man up, Louis. I'm still the same old me. Demon or not, I'm still in charge of my actions. And this father, I know nothing about. Yes, I've still got a lot to learn. It's enough to drive you crazy. Everything I believed in, nothing holds true anymore. Pull yourself together, man. I need to find some answers. There's no way of being alone for a minute. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures, Mortimer's gift. Golden elixir. Sir Gregory?
Good day, Louis. I think it would be good to talk. How are you feeling?
I don't know.
I understand. I heard that William spoke to you at last about our nature and our family. It's a good thing, but you must be a bit shaken up.
That's the least you can say.
I bid you welcome among us, Louis. Knowing William, he probably didn't go into any detail about our family, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
How long has our family been in existence?
We have been here since the very beginning.
What do you mean, exactly?
Are you trying to get information from me?
No, not at all. I was just wondering why that particular question seemed to disturb you.
Let us not insist, then. You yourself weren't very convinced by the question, it seems.
How many of us are there in the family?
We are 8 brothers and sisters.
What do you mean by brothers and sisters if we can change bodies?
You reason with logic. We have retained the human habit. When we first come into this world, we retain a certain attachment to our first envelope. If we are born as a man, we are brothers. If we are born as a woman, we are sisters. But I must admit, it has absolutely no real importance. They're just bodies.
Well, tell me then, are there any other families like ours?
There are officially 7, but we're the oldest and therefore the most powerful.
What's Lord Mortimer's problem?
I think he allows himself to be devoured by a need for recognition.
Has he always been like that?
More or less, but thinking about it, I believe that the birth of our latest sibling greatly accentuated his discomfort.
Do you think he's jealous?
I didn't realize you were so good at behavioral analysis. Indeed, William certainly is prone to jealousy. Finding one's place, notably in the eyes of our father, is not easy, and we each do what we can to succeed. But I can't justify this perpetual rebellion against our rules.
Is there a head of the family?
You'll see. You'll meet them all, of course, when you are ready. They created us and set out the rules, especially our father. As for our mother, she retired from the political stage. We don't see her much anymore. I think that all these questions simply bore her.
I see. There is still much to learn.
Yes, it's true. You've got some catching up to do, my boy. One thing you must understand. regarding any disagreements that might arise between William and myself is his position with regard to mankind.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries we've been trying to help, and therefore preserve humanity. Monarchies are simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently, and I can't understand why William wants to replace them with democracy.
But if your intention is not to dominate the human race, why not let them be master of their own destinies?
I perfectly understand this type of reaction from you, less from William. The main thing you're lacking is time. Man is transient, and one of his particularities is that he does not learn from the errors of his peers. He uses up an incredible amount of energy building and destroying whatever he himself has put into place. If we weren't here to help them, guide them, I sincerely believe that humanity would have become extinct by now. On the other hand, we are eternal. When we plan ahead, we do it for the long term.
Yes, I understand, but that's more like tyranny, isn't it?
Well, it's all a question of your point of view. From man's point of view, I can understand how he would have that impression, if ever he found out. But don't forget your true nature. From the demon's point of view, in other words, ours, letting man do as he thinks fit would equate to letting him race to his own demise.
But what about man's freedom to choose?
That is man's worst enemy, Louis. Imagine a creature that dies without reaching the age of adulthood. It remains a child. We have to help him, otherwise he will put himself in danger. It has taken centuries for our family to establish relative peace between demons. Thanks to this policy, we have been able to decide everything by confining the other families to subordinate roles. And now William is obsessed with disrupting everything.
Peace between demons? What do you mean?
I'm not talking about conflicts within our family. If that was all there was, everything would be fine. But several other families, younger but nonetheless powerful, are trying to upset the balance. At present, we dominate most of the major countries around the globe. But some families are pushing, via less influential countries, to gain ground. Do you understand?
As best I can, yes.
When the time comes, you must take up a position on the political chessboard. I only hope your father doesn't take you down with him.
Are you offering me an alliance?
Louis, I do not believe that just because your father is mistaken, all is lost for you. You owe William nothing, so there's nothing obliging you to support him. I want you to make an informed choice. Now go and see your father, see what he has to say, and then think it over very carefully.
That's exactly what I intended to do. Thank you, Uncle.
Don't mention it. If I've been able to help you in any way, go now.
Duke Manuel Godoy. Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Louis, busy as always, I see. How lucky you are. I must admit I'm trying to kill the boredom myself.
I get the impression we're all in the same boat.
And here I was thinking you might have some juicy gossip.
Me? No, nothing at all. And you?
I would like to be able to say yes, but it's been dead quiet. The only one with anything to say is Duke Manuel. But with that accent of his, I don't understand a word he says. It's exasperating.
Right. I've wasted enough time. I'll keep our conversation to myself, Mr. President. Anyway, I must be going now.
See you later, Louis.
Louis, I was sure you would stay. I'm proud of you. You have made the right choice. It took great maturity to forgive your sister as you did.
She brought me up. I realized I owed her a lot.
We all make mistakes, as Sarah well knows.
Why didn't you tell me the truth about her?
I thought that might be too many truths to absorb at one time. I intended to tell you afterwards. You were in a hurry, so I made a decision. You've been able to understand and choose for yourself. How do you feel?
Hard to say. Confused about everything? I have to admit, it's been a lot to take in such a short amount of time.
What could be more normal? It may have been a bit brutal, but you've just grown up in a very short space of time. From now on, you can influence your own future. I will guide you. We've all the time we need.
You're not the first to make me that offer.
What do you mean by that?
Your brother, Sir Gregory.
Gregory. Why am I not even surprised? What did he say?
I've been given to understand that you have a difficult relationship with your father. Isn't that right?
Let's just say we don't see things the same way. I ended up finding out that there's a world outside the rules he has imposed on us.
It seems you find yourself in the same position that you've placed men. You were told what to do, what to think, and you found it unbearable. Imagine if humanity finds out you secretly direct them. How do you think they'd react?
Your analogy is not without substance. But that's where it ends. Man's main flaw is his willingness to forget and to make the same errors time and again. He can't help it. He is mortal. I don't impose anything on anyone. I'm just following my own path.
But where does it lead?
I suppose I should explain. For centuries now, demons have emerged in and around great leaders all over the world. But like true tyrants, they have governed with an iron fist in a studded glove.
That's the impression I get.
But you see, people's discontent is increasing, and they are too high up to hear it. They take themselves for gods. Sooner or later, the people will turn against us, just as they have in the past. Each time it's happened, many of us have died. We must master the humans, yes, but gently. And the best way of doing that is by allowing them a free choice, Louis.
You really are trying to liberate men.
Of course not entirely, no. It is easier to keep control over people who slumber than people who are oppressed. A man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. Whereas if you give him a roof, food, and entertainment, he will do whatever you want. The best way of getting them to achieve something is to make them think it was their idea. For that, they have to feel as if they are free.
Hang on. What do you mean?
Look at the United States. From the start, I introduced an idea that will change everything. The idea that everything is possible. Everyone can become someone. Is there anything more beautiful?
You mean it's not true?
Man can move mountains when he believes it is in his own interest. And what nobler cause is there than his own freedom?
Do
Do you have any more examples?
Of course.
And what would you propose for women?
They must be given the right to work and to vote. Look, at the moment, they don't work. They take care of raising children. What a mistake. We have to get them out of the house. Make them work. In this way, not only will they become consumers, but they will also delegate the job of education to the system. We could guide humanity from a young age, Louis, don't you see? Today, we are wasting too much time.
Talk to me about slavery.
Well, take the slave trade, for example. It's an archaic practice that simply has to stop. Today, black slaves of America work for free and in unbearable conditions. Tomorrow, if you free the blacks and offer them work along with a salary, they will bless you for it. Then, they will be integrated into the system. They will be taxable. Once they are free, they will have to work for a roof, pay taxes, and feed their families. Maybe we could take away the civil rights of prisoners, for example. In this way, we'll keep control of all those who respect the system and benefit from the others as workforce. What obscurantism! By harping on this concept of good and evil, guilt and redemption, look where men are now, locked up in beliefs that should no longer exist. It's time for men to rediscover themselves and to take control of their lives as they really are, without any moral judgment.
Tell me what you think about progress.
Progress is essential, Louis. It's the future.
What else?
Progress must liberate humanity from burdensome chores. Progress must replace man wherever his presence is not obligatory. It creates both the desire and the need. It will liberate women as soon as the machines are able to do all the chores in the home automatically. It will bring men together by bringing a faster means of locomotion. Look at the cultural revolution that printing brought about. But the most important of all has already been laid. The foundation stone. Freedom of speech. The First Amendment of the Constitution. There must be opponents to every project. So, above all, don't develop a one-track approach. Otherwise, man won't have enough room for expression to feel free. If man sees his chains, he will only want to break them. If we give men the feeling that they are free, I am convinced that they will exceed their limits. And it is only from that condition that humanity shall rise up.
But do you want to dominate or raise humanity higher?
I want it to advance. I want it to progress. Man is our vessel. If he progresses, then so do we. Wouldn't you like to know what we really are?
Who do you mean? Demons?
Yes, us. Our species. I've been searching for centuries, trying to find a way to explain the reason of our existence, but humanity has not yet evolved enough to make any progress on the subject. I am convinced that the sciences will bring that knowledge someday.
So, that's your objective, is it? To understand who we are? I see your point.
Our family clings to its privileges and to the past, and that's how they are putting us in danger. The time has come for change. Now that you know your true nature, there are still a few things I need to teach you.
What do you mean exactly?
A new skill, and not the least, Louis. It's about taking control of a person.
I don't see how I could do that.
I shall help you the first time.
Okay, let's not waste any more time.
I deduce that you're impatient to master what's in store for you. That is good. I thought I'd mix business with pleasure for this first time.
What do you mean by that?
The conference will come to a close shortly, as you know. Not that I'm fed up with archaic diplomacy, but it's time to ensure the success of this project. To make this happen, I would like Piaget to inform the Pope he has changed sides.
You're going to use your powers to alter the votes?
The real game is about to begin, Louis. Up till now, the guests have been sizing each other up. From now on, it's time for Gregory and myself to play, as well as you yourself. Now, here is my plan. I would like you to join His Eminence in his room.
Just play along. We'll see when the time comes. Very well. And then?
You're going to have to trust me. What we're going to do is painless for the human you are going to invade.
Invade?
Yes. You're going to enter his mind and take control. You're going to influence his actions and his psyche. Make him speak, then concentrate. You must focus on him in order to feel his thoughts. Then, while speaking, you must link with him. Once you're done, you will naturally find your way to the source and enter into his thoughts.
But what if I fail?
Trust in your instincts. You just have to let yourself go. You have the skill. Let your nature come to the fore. You'll see. If you fail, you'll be in for some light banter with His Eminence. That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Very well.
Perfect. Go now. The Cardinal is in his room. You will have to write a letter to the Pope as if Piaggi had written it himself. In this letter, tell the Pope that whatever happens during the conference, he must follow my propositions. But be careful. In order to protect himself from counterfeiters, the Pope had Piaggi's hand tattooed with a symbol to be sure of his identity. You'll see when you're inside him. You'll understand. Once it's written up, just bring it back to me, and I'll send it off immediately.
All right. I'll take care of it. Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Ah, well, Louis, what brings you back to my chambers?
May I sit down?
Of course, Louis. Don't you feel good?
Yes, but if I'm gonna pass inside you, I'd better sit myself down first. It's nothing, don't worry about it.
Well, what can I do for you?
Right. Now I need to concentrate. I wanted to speak to you, Your Eminence. I wanted to thank you for your help. I mean, for your time talking to me about the Holy Lance.
Oh, and did you find it? It's the crusade of a lifetime for some people, Louis. You are searching for another Holy Grail.
You're nearly there. Link into his thoughts. Does it annoy you at all?
But what on earth is he trying to get at? Why do you ask, Louis? I don't follow.
For the glory, Your Eminence. I can feel it coming. It's working.
What insolence. Why, really? I am a man of the church, Louis. May God keep me from such ambitions.
Right. Let me in, Your Eminence.
Why?
I've done it. I've done it, damn it. He was right. This is just crazy. I can't believe it. Look at yourself, Louis. You better not get caught. Whoa. I still need to get used to this body. So, let's see about what Mortimer asked me. Right. Well, it's time I got started. Let's see what I can find here to help me write that letter. I have no means to validate my forgery, so I better take my time with it and not make any mistakes. There are 2 letters from the Pope on the desk. I should be able to get a clue or 2 by checking how well they correspond to each other. And here are 3 stamps. All are different. Right. Well, let's start writing. Lord Mortimer asked me to discredit Sir Gregory and to announce Piaggi's final vote in his favor. As an introduction, Your Holiness, thank you for your trust. It turns out, now that I'm here, that I find Lord Mortimer's projects grant us many more advantages in comparison to what Sir Gregory had suggested. We are talking about the future of the Holy See. There. That should be enough to justify the change of vote. There's a kind of code composed of 6 letters that they always write under the dates of their correspondence. According to Mortimer, it's got something to do with Piaggi's tattoo. I guess I'll have to write one for today's date. Now, ideally, it'd be better to do without it, but I'm going to need to be extremely clever here. Today the date is 24/01/1793. In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the numbers shown in the middle. Some figures are the same in both codes, yet they correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code. Today the date is 24/01/1793. 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 Today is the 24/01/1793. In one of the letters, the Pope asked Piaggi to change and to stop using his personal stamp. He asked him to use the one with the Pope's motto on it. And I remember that. Flore in Domo Domini. Giustizia, misericordia, e humiltà. Boy, I gotta brush up my foreign languages. A circle with a cross inside. On it is written, Flore in Domo Domini.
Your Eminence, all ready to send... What's he doing here?
Damn it. That's all I need. Don't worry, he can't hear us.
What do you mean he can't hear us? What's going on here, Piaggi?
I don't know what to say. He was already here when I entered my room. I presumed he must be tired.
Tired? Are you having me on, Piaggi? Or what?
What? I wouldn't dare.
I don't know what you're trying to pull, but I really don't like it.
I was about to fetch someone to take care of him. Would you care to go?
There he is. And there he stays. The perfect opportunity.
What do you mean?
It's been a while now that I've been hoping for a chance to get rid of him. Can you keep a secret?
Of course, my son. Would you like to tell me under the confidentiality of confession?
Ah, don't talk rubbish. I don't trust the little runt because he is Mortimer's son. Would you believe it?
How does he know?
Dear God, how is that possible? I am flabbergasted.
We've wasted enough time. What if he wakes up? If you don't want to get your hands dirty, just turn away and leave everything to me.
This is not a decision to be taken lightly.
You're defending him now.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
He's made you change sides, hasn't he? The slime bag. He works for Mortimer. Good thing I already tried to warn Gregory.
I am certain that Sir Gregory would be opposed.
You know nothing! I know Sir Gregory better
That's
than...
against the rules of the conference, Monsieur von Volna. I refuse to go against Sir Gregory.
Right.
Monsieur von Volna, I always act in the best interest of all. I assure you.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
You must have lost your mind to want to take such an extreme course of action.
No one's asking you to help me do it. He is capable of reporting me to Sir Gregory. I'm really risking my neck here.
If you lay a finger on him, I'll denounce you to Sir Gregory. I'm warning you.
You old weasel! Very well, Piaggi, you win.
I refuse to let you do the first thing that comes into your head.
I don't know what the two of you are up to, but I'll find out sooner or later.
Right. Time for me to get back into my body. Right. Don't just stand there, Louis. Mortimer's waiting for you in the Red Salon. President George Washington.
So, Louis, what was your first time like? Bewildering, isn't it?
Here's your letter. I have to admit, the experience was utterly amazing.
Come, tell me more.
Tell you the truth, I didn't make it through the first time.
Well, that's quite normal on the first try. But you did it. Gregory, what can I do for you?
I've just come to make sure dear Louis has all the information he needs.
Needs for what?
You are free to make your own choices, William. I would like the same for him, too.
There's nothing I want more, Gregory.
Your schemes will lead to your demise, brother. Don't involve Louis. He has nothing to do with all this. The end of the conference approaches, and this masquerade will soon be torn asunder. Don't drag him down with you in your disgrace.
O ye of little faith.
On the contrary, brother, Louis has just entered the family. Give him a chance to find his place.
His place?
What place is that?
At the end of a leash, like all the others.
Don't listen to him. He's angry with our father.
And with good reason. He governs us in the same way he governs humanity. Through fear and submission.
Same old tune. When will you understand that it's necessary to impose order for things to move forward properly?
You are under his thumb and proud of it. Open your eyes, for crying out loud. His whole system has become outdated, and he's too old to see it. He will lead us to our demise.
Here he goes with another of his grand speeches. William has always been fond of staging big scenes. It's his theatrical side.
How dare you? You are blind, brother. Even if the evidence bit you on the nose, you still wouldn't see it. I feel sorry for you.
Tea is drunk hot or not at all, William. When will you learn? It's too bitter. You shouldn't let it brew so long.
I knew you'd be coming along. You are so predictable.
Methodical, I would say. Things must be accomplished in the right order if we want the world to keep turning as it does.
Whatever the consequences?
What do you mean?
Let's say it hardly leaves any room for free will. Now does it?
It's the adults' responsibility to provide education for their children, Louis. Our family only ensures, through its experience, that demons do not lose themselves in rash decision-making.
You see, Louis, Gregory came here to make you change your mind. It's time for things to change. I acknowledge Father has done many good things for humanity, but his time is over, and now he must pass on the torch.
That's enough. There, Louis. That's the pathetic example your father has to offer. I really am sorry about what happened to you. You don't know our family yet. We can't have given you a very good impression, but bear in mind that we are all against William's project.
On the contrary.
If he insists on going through with it, we will have no other choice than to intervene by force. Consequently, my dear Louis, you're going to have to choose sides. I would much rather have met you in different circumstances.
There you are, Louis. See what happens when you don't follow their orders to the letter.
Louis, I'm afraid the time to decide is now. If you follow William, he will drag you down with him. If, on the other hand, you support me, I can assure you that nothing will happen to you. You won't be blamed for your father's errors.
Ah, the masks are off. I offer you liberty. He obliges you to choose, and shamelessly asks you to betray your own father. That is their true face.
Right. Before I answer, well, I better think it over very carefully. Do I intend to embrace my demon nature and take my place on the chessboard? Do I stay out of it and do my utmost to stop them? Or do I renounce my nature and do all I can to stay human? I was born a man. I grew up as such. Finding out that I'm a demon makes no difference. I refuse to let them manipulate humanity the way they do. They're gonna ask me to choose between them. I'll just have to go with the lesser evil of the two. But they better not count on me to keep my word. I'll bring them all down.
So? What do you choose, Louis?
I shall follow my father, Sir Gregory.
Very well. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Please, don't take offense, but I just can't turn my back on him. That said, if he turns his back on me, I won't be slow in sticking a dagger between his shoulder blades.
It's time we finished what we started, brother. The final vote of the conference over the acquisition of Louisiana will take place in a few hours. I propose you gather your troops and prepare to close the debate.
That's precisely what I was going to suggest.
Come, follow me. It's time for us to get ready.
Do you really think we have a chance of winning?
A chance? You don't know me very well, Louis. We are going to win.
But it only takes one person to vote against us, and we'll have lost.
That's true. That's why none of them will. Why? Because I have an asset that they do not.
Which is?
You.
My friends, prepare yourselves. The conference is about to resume. The time has come to lay down all our cards